Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Charisse, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I've been thinking for a long while about writing this to send you. I sent a donation. Thank you so much. You may publicly refer to me as Charisse again. This one I call an open letter to the various narcissists through my life. You already read my first narc account about my next of kin. They're wanting to know what I was mad at, which was a lifetime since birth of me being invalidated and insulted, and so much more. In junior high school, where adolescents, still only kids, bond in those same gender, sibling-like best friendships, a very outgoing girl decided that I would be her BFF. The positive meaning of that initialism, as there exists a crude meaning of that as well. On into the future, our adult lives went very differently, like night and day. After around 1989, there was no mutual connection at all, and our locations in this country were very far apart. Since 2014, via my flying monkey family members who would further invalidate me, they gave this woman the info to be in touch with me, both home address and online, because everyone else knows better for me than me. Oh God, my parents used to do that all the time. Into adulthood, people they knew I didn't want anything to do with, they would give my personal information, give information about me, talk about me, and I would say, don't give people my information. Even my mother's friends, who, and there was one in particular, Anita. I think I've talked about her before, part of the ITeam. Okay? And even worse than me was my brother, don't fucking tell Anita Guido anything. She's a fucking blabbermouth. And the two of them were known as the fucking I-Team around Hasbrook Heights. Telephone, telegraph, and tell Laura. And it goes right to Anita, and there's the I-Team for you. Blathering everybody's fucking business. And they just spread everybody's fucking shit. From 2,000 miles away via continually new Facebook accounts, because I block you, you message me every year on my birthday. I can't believe you cannot see that we have utterly zero in common. Every single one of your communications began with I was about you and people related to you who are successful at making money. Never and not once did you ever hint as to anything about me. I think you always saw me as like in those old Snow White and Cinderella movies, one of those orbiting creatures around the female hero. I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. I am also not the invalidable ragdoll dish rag that everyone, including you, decided I was. I'll tell you what this is about, too. I'll tell you what, she knows all this. She knows you're not interested. She knows, but she is still saying to you, you can't get rid of me. This is her way of telling you, no matter what you do, I'm still going to get my way. Even if it's you having to block me once a year on your birthday. This is her telling you I will never respect your boundary. That's what that is. Next time I'm going to report you to Facebook. In 1992, when I was 32 years old, I was volunteering for this nonprofit organization, physically commuting there for 1 hour each way, and these people made a monthly snail-mailed paper newsletter rag for a modest subscription fee. I would do the hand-sketched artwork for it, as I was one of those kinds of people who drew better than normal. I did this for free, after all. I was a volunteer who was volunteering. One day, while I was at home in my apartment finishing a picture and knowing I was, I think, a day late on it, this bastard named George calls me on my landline telephone chewing my ass off because apparently a 6-alarm level urgency that they mail out on time, what they deem on time, their rag about fringe science. Well, then they shouldn't be hiring volunteers then. Back then, I had no self-esteem. I did not know that I was operating in my life with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and autism. I was desperate to be wanted. I was unsuccessful so far at 32 of being sexually wanted because I was not a hot babe and did not know how not to be socially inept, which I was unaware of about myself all that time. All I was aware of is that I was desperate to be wanted. They were aware of that too. I know this because the lead guy there told me in 2003, per a brief reconnect from me, that we could tell there was something wrong with you, and they took advantage of it. From 1989 to 94, I had this long-distance boyfriend who it turned out was happy with our long-distance semblance of a so-called relationship. One day in 1994, while he was visiting me, I told him, after he made a few attempts to be physically affectionate with me, that I was not attracted to him anymore. But because I was a ragdoll dish rag who was desperate to be wanted, I did not say to him, "Gee, it turns me off when we are talking on the phone," as I try as gently as I could to learn from you and any feelings or intentions from you toward me that may go further than this pen pal like status. And then you then chirped, "I got to run now, toodaloo." I was otherwise not a nagging type of woman by any stretch, and otherwise was not pushy in the relationship, as my personality is not like that. Right, but you were like you were a side girl. He's treating you like a side girl, which I think you might have been, because that's exactly what, "Oh, you're giving me shit, bye. When I visited you, you carried my lightest bag up your winding staircase and laughed at me with the heavy one. At that time, I weighed 108 pounds at 5 foot 1 inch, and you were over 6 foot tall and must have weighed around 185. Other incidents come to mind. We once traveled out west and shared a room, and you liked to turn the TV on loud just as I was falling asleep to be well rested for our early busy next day. Then we stayed at the home of this married old hag intellectual friend of yours who treated me like I wasn't there. She never once looked at me. It made you giggly. I want to apologize to you. I wanted you to rescue me like I was some kind of shelter pet who needed a forever home. I was not honest or clear to you nor myself. I'm able to apologize because I'm not a narcissist. Narcissists are incapable of introspection and apologies themselves. A year ago, I was in communication with this one YouTuber whose content was all about mysteries of a specific sort, which happened to me a long time ago in a very important way and place. I later obtained documentation on paper which proves that. He was enthralled with me as an upcoming interview guest. Not only that, he snail mailed me a quality item which is supposed to help with the audio. I did not request such. I have nothing to sell and no website. We communicated in Skype for a brief time length. But it all seemed like a big deal, bells and whistles, as the old saying goes. On and agreed to a time and day for that very night. And nothing. The show proceeded, though, and the guest was someone familiar to them already, a woman friend of the host, with not much to say. In fact, not anything at all. Not anything all that interesting and important. She showed off a picture of her black sexy dress and long blonde extensions sitting next to him on social media, and they were both wearing classic shit-eating grins. I found it so icky and disgusting. Merely thinking about that picture makes me want to take a shower and wash with bleach. I felt stunned, and in the long, drawn-out days following, I felt like someone kicked me in the face and then kicked me to the curb. I felt humiliated. Yeah, because you keep going for people that treat you like a side piece. Whether it be your friends or your actual relationships, you're always the side piece in any relationship you're ever in. You're always the side chick. And side chicks get dumped. Side chicks are like strays, man. You, meaning him, your channel is yours. It is your prerogative to do whatever the hell you want. Knock yourself completely out, little man. You are no young, impulsive bloke. Did I say young? By any stretch of the imagination. But I deem you a little man with little bitty, tiny, impotent integrity. Sounds like a classic narcissist to me. You people who chronically don't mean what you say, what you are doing is farting out of your faces. It stinks. When you knowingly cause someone to get ready for an event that will not exist, it is rank stank. It's the carrot. Look, it's a carrot at the end of a stick, and it's just torturing you for the sake of torturing you. When you're knowingly getting someone's hope up or even their anxiety up, only to have it turn out as a bait and switch so you can show off your latest model of sexual and egomaniacal stroking source of sexual narcissistic supply. Back in the fall of 2005, a man who was important to me for reasons that were significant to us both promised that on that particular evening he was going to call me, so that he could ask me questions about matters that intrigued him and pertained to a book he was writing. It seems like you fall for some really weak pickup lines, Charisse. Like when you see like these old videos on how to pick up women with these corny guys making up like I'm an addict. Like you were the type of woman this shit works on. You have no ability to spot a guy's bullshit trying to pick you up. And it's only guys picking you up to be a side piece. I guarantee you. I made sure my pets were all good to go regarding fresh food and water. I made sure my phone was fully charged. Do you see this, what you're saying, though? That desperation bleeds out. And predators can smell it out 100 miles away. They see it. They know it. I made sure I was sitting comfortably in my favorite living room chair. My favorite TV show was on, NCIS starring Mark Harmon, to keep me from feeling nervous. And then nothing. No call. I knew what happened. Nothing happens. I knew what happened. Wait a minute. I knew that what happened was a thoughtless, narcissistic fart face because I had called him the next evening and he was insincerely mea culpasing, false promising he'll try again. But if nothing happens, it's no biggie, he said. Much later on, I had let the dude know that I was disappointed and inconvenienced. Then he fired this long, enraged wall of text rage to me, full of entitlement, self-stroking, self-pity, and how could you? Yeah, because that's how you play the side. That's how you play the side piece. That's how you do it. I felt kicked in the face. Luckily, at the time, I had become friends and chatty with a man who owned a small convenience store below my then apartment. I got to cry on his shoulder, literally bawling my eyes out. I felt traumatized nearly by the author's enraged message rage. Ollie, I did not know about narcissism prior to, I think, around 2008. Thank you for your channel where we can be the resistance. You gotta stop thinking being a side piece, Charisse. Okay? Stop looking for a man to cry, and then you go down. Listen, let me let you in on a little secret about convenience store owners. They're in the same game. Same game. Any convenience store owner, you know, you will not. Usually around here, it's some Arab guy pimping out all the neighborhood women, okay, for some Little Debbie snack cakes and some Lucy cigarettes right in front of these guys. Like, it's sad. Okay, that type of, when you're crying on a convenience owner's shoulder like that, it reeks of desperation. The reason why the fart face is attracted to you is because you reek of desperation. And reekness fucking finds reekness. You have to change everything you're putting out. Stop putting all your value into a man or into a friendship. Stop being the world's side piece. That's what narcissism has made you into. The world's side chick. So, I hope that helps. Thank you, Charisse, for another contribution and story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.